analysis of different diet methods and what is the scientific landscape of best eating. That is going to be the topic today. And first of all, I like to ask you a question. What is knowledge? What is the definition of knowledge?
Constantly learning.
Anything else? Yeah, of course.
Information that you have retained that's verifiable.
Very good. Information and is not enough. You get information from someone that could be true or false. You get information from the online information that could be wrong. So information's coming up with a science and experience that is the true knowledge. So what's happening today? Nowadays, if we need something, we go to online and we find many information and we believe in it. Because of that, according to data, 8 out of 10 people says that the information online, that people they get information from online, they are confusing. So they are confusing, and not only our life, it also in our health. Like health-wise, if you need some information, you go to online. Someone talked about that based on their own benefit from their own business, and we believe in it and we apply it on ourselves. And end of the day, we are harming ourselves. And this is the true injustice on ourselves. We're following some people information without knowing the science and experience behind it. So I want, as a young scientist, to develop the idea that how do you research, how do you get the information. So today I brought some true research for you, what could be the eating. First of all, since the topic about the food, we know that we all love food. Food bring the community together. Food bring the families together. Food is the one we all love, even someone's birthday, someone's funeral. Always food is the one part of entertainment, right? So, but what happening? Food now killing us. As I said earlier, 4.9 million people are being died every year in US out of food poisoning or food-related health problems. How many people died out of road accident? 30,000 people. Only 30,000 compared to the huge millions of people dying of food problem. We are so careful on driving, we're not that careful when we pick our food. So we love food, but make sure they don't harm us, they don't kill us. So as I said, first I will teach you guys what is the dietary guideline about the food. So government, US government every year send us the guideline for 5 years. So last one was 2015 and coming one is 2020. We'll get new guidelines. So how it goes, they give a guidelines every 5 years, what to be eating, what to be healthy life, what could be their guidelines and how we can follow, how we can take care of our health. And that's overseen by Secretary of Agriculture and Secretary of Human Health and Services. And that started in 1980. In 1980, when they started, they mostly talked about, eat moderate, not too much fat, no sugar, no salt, no sodium, some kind of ideas. And they moved on 1985 to make, a little bit more cautious because people are getting sicker. And they said that, eat moderate, add some vegetable, and time goes by 1990 and 1995, they became more cautious. People generation getting unhealthy day by day. And they're trying to get a pyramid, they're trying to get, less fat, and they're trying to get us to, not that much processed food, more vegetable. They're trying to add more plant-based food, and 2010 is the one more advanced, and 2015 guideline, which is the current one we're following, which is about the more healthier option. And that 2015 guideline is designed by different types of expertise, as you see, some medical doctors, some pediatricians, some scientists, some nutritionists, all together they designed the guidelines. And first they talked about that what should be the guideline. They talked about the guideline about evidence-based food research and how can we take care of our health. And there's different link I can send it to you so you can follow that. So they talked about mostly not that much saturated fat, not that much sugar, not that much sodium. That's the key things they mention, and improve some more plant-based food. And this is the plate they design, that vegetable, fruits, grains, and protein. But they are not always approved by scientists. Those food scientists design, and government need to talk to the corporations based on their support that they have, so they can give the best design, best guideline. So that's not the best option. So we have to know our science as well to verify that information and guidelines that we have. So now, if you go Google it, what's the best diet method, you'll get 938 million opinions. If you Google it, what the best diet people have been following, you'll see people around the world following top 93 most popular method, which one are going to follow. So people following this and that here and there, and they get frustrated. They follow, they don't get benefit, they ended up, it's not helping anymore. So, and what happened that people frustrated. And what is the solution? Let's see what is the popular method. For instance, keto. Keto is a very good one, of course, a lot of fat, but that's fat, not everybody can handle it. Based on human body need, that's how we need to adjust fat. A lot of fat is not good for everyone. Someone is perfect health, good fat is good for them. Someone can digest it well, that's fine for that person. But I have a patient, he said that as soon as I started using keto, he had to go to ER. So as soon he started, within 1 or 2 days, he had to go to emergency room.
But what kind of diet was it? Was it more like an animal-based, like
maybe
high in saturated fat?
Because
Maybe
there's keto that's high in like fibrous vegetables and green vegetables, and 1 or 2 days could be correlation versus causation. So that may have had nothing to do with his trip to the ER.
Exactly. So it's should be correlation, as she said. Yeah, that should be very important. But if you start eating direct animal fat, then of course you have to go to ER.
Yeah.
And someone parasite is growing, or high level of yeast and parasite, their digestion is not optimum. That person must need to go to ER, right? Of course. So that should be careful about that. So, but what you've been taught that eat less fat, don't put too much fat, you should be fine, right? People say that, don't eat too much, eat exercise, you should be fine. But we need to go to the reality. Reality is not about the low fat, low carb, high fat, or high protein. That's not the true reality, So we are the only species, human beings are the only species following different diet. We're the only species following different diet and going to a hospital. We're the only species in the human being in this earth is suffering too many diseases. Look at our ancestors. What diet did they follow?
A different diet based on their geographical location.
Yeah, but they didn't follow a specific name, keto or paleo or not. My grandfather, I didn't see. They never heard about these kind of names. They ate as much they can. They ate whatever they liked, So, like if I ask you how many times you go to pee. No, we don't count it. We don't care. Anybody count your pee?
I have before, like
No.
make sure I'm hydrated.
Okay, in the morning, in the morning, when you woke up in the morning, did you think that I'm gonna be eating 3 times a day? No. You see, nobody raising hand. That nobody planned that I'm gonna be.
I haven't planned out ahead of time, so yes, I know how many meals I'm gonna eat per day.
No, pee.
Pee. No, I
How
just.
many? So
Sorry, I said eat. No,
So-
I don't plan my peas.
our pee and ourselves have a natural relationship. We go as much we need. So likewise, food we should be have a natural relationship too, not the one I should be choosing and picking. It should be natural. If things is healthy, then body can manage it. Its calorie, body can manage its diet, body can detox. If it's let's say Atkins, paleo, and keto are like similar, more fat, pretty much on a vegetable, plant, and less carb. Yeah, protein and fat comes by default.
High protein keto is high fat, and paleo is for the Paleolithic area, and it's dumb, but
And
yes.
remember that protein and fat comes together.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes.
whatever protein is have fat too, most of the time. So let's go protein fat together, and that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
If you go to vegan, a lot of people now think vegan is the best option, right? Look at the vegan. In vegan, the founder of Vegan Society is Mr. J. Dinsha. He died in heart attack all of a sudden in his office because he never touched hamburger, he never touched animal fat. Animal fat have a lot of good nutrients that human body need very small amount. Not too much animal fat, I mean. Too much animal fat, of course, is going to be making indigestion and long run, health risks. But without animal fat, fully following the vegan, someone must need to go to sick, because human body have a lot of wound and that need to be healed, that fix the, all the problems, and fat can heal the wound. Fat can digest our brain. Fat can absorb mineral. I mean, fat can improve the digestion system, detox our brain, produce our hormone. You see, all the things made by fat, and cholesterol made by hormone, by the fat. So when you have a vegan, you are missing the whole thing that you need. You end up going to heart attack, right? Again, you need to adjust. And low fat is not a good idea, as I say. And any diet you can think, like Mediterranean, is one of famous. I still like Mediterranean a lot because there are a lot of good food choices, but they don't use spice. Every spice is like superfood. Every spice is like a super, ingredient that digestion and healing and improving our body to maintain the homeostasis level. So missing out all the spices, you are missing that all the turmeric, ginger, and onion, garlic, everything you can, pepper, everything. There's no single spice you have that not many good nutrient, good healing power. So look at the as I said earlier, our ancestor, our animal in the jungle, and I never found even any patient in my life that they need, they're deficient of any nutrient by following healthy diet, and I never found any patient got healthy by following any of the diet. And people are always frustrated. One, they jump other one, they switch other one, they say no, diet doesn't work, and should not be working. As I said, our ancestor, our should trust on ourselves, put the right ingredient, we should be healthy. So again, low fat, what is the problem? Low fat, where is it coming from? In 1945, after World War II, American economy went very high. People started eating more animal fat, people eating more healthier, more animal fat, and people getting heart disease. But it was not the meta-analysis. It was not the evidence-based research, constant research, what the heart disease is coming from. They thought all cardiovascular disease coming from the fat, and they finalized that fat need to cut out, and that journey started low fat. And what happened in the low fat journey? That time after 1950, these diets become very famous, like a DASH diet, Ornate diet, TLC, and macrobiotic, very famous fat-free diet. So what fat-free diet mean? If you take out of the fat from anything, that means nothing in there. It gets out of the nutrient, because everything got created with a built-in enzyme, built-in system, so it can help you to digest the food. And if you, first of all, it's no nutrient, you take out the fat. Secondly, body cannot absorb it, body cannot digest it, because this is not a food molecule. Body doesn't recognize that. Our human body is natural. It look for the natural thing, and body thinks that this is not the right ingredient, and body missing. Body can digest it. Not only that, in top of them, to make it eatable, that fat-free food need to be added with the excess sugar, lot of excess, lot of excess sugar, and lot of artificial sweetener and preservatives. All the thing is a carcinogens. According to research, all that cancer coming from excessive, extra harmful chemical, which we haven't thought that they're harmful. Now found out that all extra chemical is harmful. Everything it makes body, body doesn't recognize them, because they're not the true ingredient body can absorb and digest and take care of the system. Rather, it takes its foreign, body react with it, and they get all the allergy, and then they get long run cancer is being developed. So, and of course, if you don't have a fat, I talked to you guys earlier. If you don't have enough fat, body cell, whole body cell is not developing properly. Because body cell need fat molecule to their cell membrane, right? And without cell membrane, the fat is cell is not developing properly. So look at that; he doesn't have any more muscle. He's just only some, So that's what the situation is. We lose our muscle, we lose our energy, we lose our brain function, we lost everything by not having enough fat molecule. So, and if you have a high fat, as we talked earlier, why not? It's a brain function, detoxing your body. It's going to be, vitamin D production, immune system, and then of course lower. People thought that because of the fat, we're getting heart disease. Actually, it controls the blood pressure. Now research came out that, not a single research is found out that, fat can be harmful for our heart, because fat come to our heart to heal the artery, because artery get damaged by too much sugar absorption, too much chemical antibiotics storing in the artery, and then fat molecule produces the LDL. LDL come to heal the wound, and they get clogged in there. So fat is not responsible. Fat is like a firefighter coming to fix your fire. But so fat is like that, and making LDL to fix your wound, which is wounded by your MSG, by your kind of sodium ascorbate, by your all kinds of preservatives and all kind of extra additive chemical and we are been adding with the food. So instead of blaming fat, we should be enjoying fat that's natural in the right format. But the problem is that now fat is not a fat anymore. Fat is made of hormone, steroid, antibiotic, and those hormone, antibiotic, and hormone and coming to our body and making us all the cancers. That's another dangerous part. So to get the pure fat that can heal our wound, that can support our body to maintain our system. Look at that. And there is no research coming out that fatty acid could be harmful for our body, because fat convert to fatty acid to go in our digestion, our system. And also, if you wanna bulletproof coffee is very interesting nowadays. And remember that again, fat could be harmful, fat could be helpful. Because for instance, someone who might get fat inflammate your joints, even the healthy fat, because that person is not healthy. Someone is healthy, this bulletproof coffee, high fat, healthy keto diet for you. If someone has a health problem, fix your health problem. Until that, control your fat. Fix your system by putting plant-based food. Then you can start enjoying again bulletproof coffee or whatever healthy food you love or you enjoy. And there is people always concerned about the dietary fat. Look at the research I'm showing you here. People thinking that maybe trans fat is bad. Okay, I understand fat is good, trans fat is bad. There is no proof that trans fat could be harmful. Again, trans fat make LDL to fix our artery. LDL kill us not because LDL fall. It's fall because artery get wounded. This is very delicate. Our heart is very delicate. And that need to be taken care of by freeing of excessive chemical, by taking care of our microbiomes. Because microbiomes are struggling, our body system is struggle. with our digestion and our detoxing and our immune system. Everything is struggle when the microbiomes suffer, body bacteria are suffering. So that need to be more focused instead of worry about the saturated fat. And a lot of people like vegan, right? Raise your hand, who likes vegan? Still you like vegan? Okay, awesome. So vegan, okay, you like vegan too? Okay. So by saying vegan, it doesn't mean anything. You know why? You might understand after I explain to you. Suppose in the morning you eat a vegan bread, lunch you get Oreo, or you know, healthy vegan sandwich, and then snacks with a candy, and then dinner with a French fry, and then Coke.
None of that's vegan though. Because vegan means no animal byproducts, so you can't have cheese.
Which one?
You can't,
No,
you can't-
there's a vegan cheese available. in the
Plus,
market.
there's different types.
and bread.
There's
or
different
Yeah,
butter.
there is vegan bread available too.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
So everything.
I was like, that's not vegan.
No. So
But there's
this
different types of vegan diet. There's
It
vegan
could be-
junk food, and then there's actually the right one.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Vegan could be very healthy, extremely great food. Vegan could be extremely nothing, zero nutrient. So based on what you like it. So by saying vegan, we don't mean anything unless you are a plant-based food vegan. That's what all I mean. And low carb, of course, Atkins diets, paleo diet is a good. Someone can absorb it. So you see, it's not suitable for everyone. No diet is suitable for everyone. Oh, I got it. This is the best one for everyone. It's not. We are not finding that. Yeah, some people can follow diet. Some people can be vegan based on their need. So high protein. High protein. Someone has a health problem. For instance, is joint pain. Then this person, the main problem is this person cannot digest the protein.
Yeah.
Non-plant. Plant-based protein, anybody can digest it. But non-plant-based diet protein, people cannot digest it. For that people, so protein is going to be harmful, not the high protein for them. And high protein, when it comes up with a lot of sugar. Because sugar is going to be dangerous for us if it is processed sugar. Healthy sugar, right sugar is not problem if you have a healthy weight. Even though healthy sugar is not going to be good for you if you have a diabetes or cancer or other major health concern. Otherwise, healthy sugar is good. But the processed sugar is adding to all the food that is going to be harmful for anyone, because processed sugar go hit your nervous system right away. It helps your brain function, brain fog. It lowering down your immune system and absorption in the intestine need to absorb the nutrient after digestion is done in the stomach, right? So intestine cannot absorb nutrient when you have too much sugar is floating in the body, and that makes your system down, you can say. So processed sugar will never be helpful. So gluten-free is a new trend. Nowadays, people, anywhere you go, you have a gluten-free option. So gluten-free option, of course, someone need it. Someone have a rheumatoid arthritis. Someone has a celiac disease, exactly. Some other disease. They need to be gluten-free. But by gluten-free, they may be taking more chemicals, harmful chemicals. They're taking more sugars. You see, so that's gonna be more harmful. You should be careful. Gluten-free have to be healthy gluten-free, and but like for instance, semolina and barley have a gluten too. That gluten is good for everyone, but gluten in the wheat is going to be harmful for everyone because wheat is genetically modified. When they modified it, Dr. Norman Boulez, he got Nobel Prize for the modifying gene in the gluten in the wheat. So he improved the quality, the taste quality, and improved the gluten quality. But at that time, we didn't know that would be harmful for the humanity. Now everybody eating gluten for a long time, they get gluten allergy. So should be careful what kind of gluten you're talking about. So barley, summary, barley and semolina gluten is good for you if you don't have a health problem. But if you have a health issue, then you have to stay away all kind of gluten. And the regular people stay away from the wheat in an overall, because that have that genetically modified. And Mediterranean is the one of the best method still, but they don't, as I said, they don't use spice. Without spice, food is not a lot of time digestible. It doesn't help you much because when you eat food, imagine food have to be medicine. As if you're taking a medicine that is gonna take care of your system. So food should be, as a healing, not only feeling for your body, right? So according to research, it shows that when we start people following all kind of diet, it helps. It start helping, and it helps and helps, but not for the long run. For the long run, people don't get that much benefit, and it doesn't help anymore, and people quit. So what is the best option then? So you might, worried about. Tell me which one you like, which one the best, right? That's your question, right? Let's go. So to know that, to know what the best diet for you, you have to understand that you are made of how many cells? Trillion, 10 trillion cells, right? You also made of more than 100 trillion bacteria, virus. Those are called microbiomes. And it could be virus, could be bacteria, could be fungi, could be yeast, could be parasite. So these 10 times more bacterial cell you have than your own cell. You see, you have actually more bacteria than yourself. Because you have a minimum 10 times more bacterial genes than your own gene. So depending on how your bacteria are surviving and functioning, that's how healthy you are. So you are, you take care of yourself, take care of your bacteria, because when you eat, they eat. They have been colonized to your system on you forever, and it will stay with you forever. If you take care of them, if you feed them, they are happy. If they are happy, you are happy. So how can you make them happy as well as you happy? So which is, to look at what they eat. They eat fiber, mineral, phytonutrient, micronutrient. That's how our body builds too. So a lot of nutrient like phytonutrient, micronutrients are there are fiber and minerals that you get from the plant-based food, whole food. You don't modify, you don't process it. When you process the food, it lost all the nutrients. There is nothing left. Then it changed the structure. So when you fry, you barbecue your meat, right? When you barbecue, they change the structure of protein. If you go to NIH research, our National Health Research, you'll see, Google it, you'll see top +1 carcinogens coming up when you fry your meat.
And then smoked meats too.
Yes, smoke and fry meat.
Yeah.
So look at that, NIH they declared that all the HSCA types of +1 carcinogens coming up when you barbecue and fry and smoke the meat. So what you need to do, you have to slow and nice and slow heat, okay? Slow heat, and then you can eat that meat. But a whole means you don't modify that much, like you don't change, you don't cook for a long time. Cook slowly and shortly, and then and plant you try to eat raw maximum. Some steamed, some half cooked is okay. And the nuts and beans and lentils and legumes and chickpeas, they're the pure plant-based protein you can choose for. People all over the protein. They need protein. I need chicken because I need protein. People talk about that. As I said, I never saw any people in my clinic that lack of protein deficiency. Because look at the example of protein. Where you think chicken is the most protein, right? Egg is the most protein. That's what you thought.
No.
Plant has more protein than even chicken and egg. So broccoli and spinach have a 48-49% protein, and egg and chicken have a 23-24% protein. You can, if you have any question, you can write down your question. We can definitely discuss, for a long time. So, and then you have to look at the healthy protein options when you look for protein. And nobody can be protein deficient. You know why? Because everything made of protein. Without protein, cell cannot be developed. The starting material of the cell is the protein. So how come you eat something without a protein? You don't need to look for protein source. That everything, like in any species in the world, made of protein. Because cell generate from the protein. So you eat spinach or you eat chicken. Everything is made of protein. So protein should not be an issue as long as you eat whole food plant-based. According to NIH research, I've been seeing a lot of medical research coming that you can get out completely out of disease by whole food plant-based diet. They can call cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and autoimmune diseases coming out of disease if you start applying all kind of healthy plant-based healthy diet. And so you don't need to divide your plate. You need to worry about your right food, not the quantity. Quality is important, what you're eating. And you might thinking how much you need to eat. How much you need to eat? Look at how much your grandpa eat. So your grandparents didn't worry about how much they're eating. Anywhere in the jungle, they don't worry about how much they're eating. They get it, they enjoy it. So if you heal your system, things working properly, then how much you eating, it doesn't matter. Body you'll not be able to eat more than you need. So depending on, since our body sometimes parasite grow, sometimes digestion doesn't work properly, our choice, our need become imbalance. So if you fix our need, if you fix our system, we'll be looking for as much we need, not the wrong way. So how much you eating, not important. Look for what you eating, and look at these animals. They're strong. They never have protein deficient. They never look for chicken and egg. They never look for Look at the elephant. The big body. Do you think made of a lot of cheese? Eat a lot of cheese? No, it doesn't know cheese. So that's what I'm saying. So plant is so powerful, So they work whole day long. They never get tired of it. Look at Mr. Frank. He said as soon as he became plant-based, he became healthy. So look at the Tom Brady. He was 5 times Super Bowl champion. He was asked what happened. How did he do that? What's the secret? He said then he shared his food plate because he eats only plant-based food. Of course, he definitely do animal fat sometimes. And he shared his daughter picture in the Facebook page. His daughter knows only to eat green smoothie, green juice. And by the way, I started with my kids too, and they're loving it, and they became healthy. I proved on myself.
Yeah, the body mix, right?
Okay, so what you need to do? Need to eat healthy food. In the morning, get a healthy breakfast. Okay, with a lot of fat. If you need to gain weight, get some carb. Otherwise, don't worry about the carb, and get nice breakfast with the different of eggs and butter and cheese and kind of some fruits, oatmeal, yogurt, milk. You can add that too, and of course avocado as well. You can add in the morning. For lunch, have to be lots of plant. Could be smoked, could be steamed, could be raw, and wild caught fish and baked, and then could be some healthy meat, healthy protein, protein, and beans and nuts and vegetables and avocado. You see carrot, some quinoa, and brown rice instead of white rice. That could be a healthy meal, and you see all the healthy options that you have, and quinoa, sweet potato, and beans and nuts could be, and nuts should be limited because too much nuts gonna make you nut intolerance. That happened with the many patients I saw. And finally, be kind to your gut, because if you mess up your gut, it's gonna give you a very hard time. And evaluate your body, investigate your body, be your own investigator. Sometimes you might be able to handle some food, sometimes you will not. So you should be careful, how your body is, telling you. That's how you should go. And when you feed yourself, make sure you feed your bugs too, because your bugs is the one taking care of you. Bugs means microbiomes, which is minimum 10 times more than your own cell. So that's what you need to focusing on too. And finally, I'll tell you in conclusion, food should be the right ingredient to build your body. So get the right food, not the trash. Now we are eating all the trash and chemicals and garbage and by the name of processed food. So stay away on that. That's not food. That change the structure, body cannot recognize them. And whole food, plant-based, the best one. That's what human body naturally. Then pick the natural one. And healthy lifestyle and dietary changes is the key for you to be healthy. And that's all I have for you guys today. Okay, do you have any question, please?
Yes, what would
Yes.
your recommendation be for someone who is, like, this is all great, except for someone who is in a situation where this would not be fiscally or like anything reasonable for them to get to? So if someone is in a lower socioeconomic setting where a grocery store is within like 40 minutes away, or the only thing around them is junk food and stuff like that, because the United States government has subsidized corn manufacturing, so all that there is around is cheap junk food options. How would you treat them when it is not reasonable for them to go to somewhere where they're going to spend exorbitantly more money and there's less outcome for them because, you know, they work 2 or 3 jobs and it's not reasonable for them to try to get this lifestyle? What would your remedy be?
This is a very great question, and that's the real situation in society we have. A lot of people cannot go to the farm, that is living in the countryside, they don't have opportunity to go to the great place to get a great product, You know what you could do? We are blessed with a farmer's market. Why don't you go to the farmer's market? They're cheap, healthy, they're not gonna claim organic, but they're local grown. They have local bugs, local microbiomes in there. They're gonna take care of your system. They're a little bit cheaper than organic stuff. So get the local one. And if you don't have local farmers market, grow on your backyard. Spend time on there. Spend time on your backyard to grow your own if you don't find local market, and you can save your time from going to hospital. That's good? Thanks. Next.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like a random question. So how do you get high cholesterol if it's not fat related? Like you said it's not trans fat, right? So how do you get high cholesterol?
Cholesterol made of 50% sugar. Actually, cholesterol made of 80% sugar, 20% fat. So we are trying to think that cholesterol means it coming from the fat, but it comes from the sugar 80%. So carbohydrates and all kinds of corn, bread, rice, and also sugar, healthy sugar. So sugar is the one we should control to control the cholesterol. And cholesterol never be bad for you. If you look at the research, you won't find single bad thing that cholesterol can do for you. Only cholesterol can hurt your artery or hurt your body, or and the excess triglyceride in your bloodstream. That because of your system is not working properly. That because of cholesterol have too much job to do. You have a wound in here. You have like the person is smoking, right? Cigarette have one cigarette have more than 4,000 chemical. So cholesterol need to be produced to heal the too many wound that cigarette making to your system. So cholesterol will not go high unless you have too much wound in there, because cholesterol job is to heal you, to correct your problems. So too much cholesterol is not a problem, but if you go too much, if you think so, it's not coming from the fat, it's coming from the sugar mostly.
So it's like a response to whatever you're doing that your body doesn't like. So it's high. Like
If it is, that is right. And since we are taking anti-cholesterol medication, right? So we are suppressing them. So because of suppressing them, we're getting more wound, because they're not healing the wound.
right.
And because of that, if you look at the data, that most heart attack not coming from the high cholesterol. If the cholesterol is normal, they are with high statin drug. They are with high cholesterol medication because they got too many damage in their heart and arteries. You will look at the right root cause, the right causes too. Yes,
So you're saying that statins?
statin drugs.
Okay. There's an article on that?
Oh, you can go to PubMed. You'll get a lot of statin drug research, how statin drug is making more heart attack than helping people, with the heart.
Yeah, because I know the hospital I work at, like statins, they're supposed to lower like your LDL. That's the low density.
You're right. Temporarily, you need it. Again, we cannot ignore medical system. We need statin drugs sometimes for some reason. Someone is very high cholesterol. They need to put statin drug temporarily, but they need to get out that statin drug by healthy diet. So you can see some research done by Dr. Dean Ornish and Dr. Cardwell. Dr. Cardwell is the head of the American Heart Foundation. He did a big research how plant-based diet can help people out of the heart disease. So that would be great discovery in the recent time. You can take a look on that. So yes, statin drug is a big problem because people want to help themselves with a healthy food. They want to be statin drug forever, and in the long run, they get heart attack. You see?
Yeah, non-compliance is a really big issue.
Yep. Any other question you have? Yes.
So for like patients that are diabetic, could you actually reverse diabetes? Because through the
It depends on
plant-based
Depends on
diet.
Depends on
type
the
1 or
type.
type 2.
Well, if it's type 2 insulin resistant, because type 1 is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Okay,
Can
type 2, there is many research came out. American Finance Research Organization, they did, for instance, British New England Medical College, they did a research on a group of patients. They found out that with a plant-based diet, within 4 to 7 days, somebody can get out of the insulin, and within 5 weeks, diabetes could be reversed, insulin resistance could be reversed by 5 weeks with a plant-based diet. And they did this research for a group of patients. And on my clinic, I did that too. When in my first batch, when I started with 6 patients, and out of 6 patients, 5 of them completely reversed their diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Even one of them was very high insulin. He should take 200 unit insulin. Within 3 days later, he said that, Dr. Haque, your method is right. After 3 days, he said, I don't need insulin anymore. Because in 3 days, body liver releases all the glycogen he stored. And after 3 days, if you don't intake any more sugar by mouth, then body doesn't have any more sugar. So you don't need any insulin to lower down your sugar to send it to the body cell from the bloodstream.
Would fat play a role in it? Because I know for fat, it takes longer for it to metabolize. And I know for patients that when their blood sugar is low and stuff, they should take like a direct glucose course to get their sugar back. When they get a candy bar, it's harder to metabolize because of the fat and the sugar.
That is called, you're pointing 2 points. First point is, he mentioned that what fat role in there. Fat role in there when someone have insulin, remember that insulin is a very strong vital hormone. This insulin hormone go to your system, it makes a huge hormonal imbalance in your system. The body gets a lot of damage. So fat helps you to minimize your damage, to help you to heal you, feel better, to get some energy. And sugar, candy bar, that helps when you get hypoglycemia. That's different issue.
Yeah.
Hypoglycemia, you instantly putting some sugar to make sugar level about 80 or 90 or around 100 to make you surviving. That's 2 different issues. Yes, fat helps, but again, not everybody can absorb the fat.
Yeah.
If someone is diabetes, he definitely have a gut issue.
Yeah.
So that person need to be careful with the fat intaking as well, unless you heal the diabetes, fix the digestion, then go for a healthy diet.
So when they have diabetes, so they should watch the fat only when they get their back into balance again. They can go to a healthy diet.
Yes, that's exactly. Any other question? If not, thank you very much for your attention.